Okay.
Grand Rising, Elizabeth. Grand Rising. It is Thursday, June the 5th. Oh, it is next week. My grandson will be out of school. It's his birthday. He'll be 14, and I'm about to choke him out. Okay. He didn't take the trash out today. It is a nice rainy day that it's feeding the grass and making it greener, and oh, I am just grateful to be up this morning. I had to sleep with my daughter last night because she's the only one with the air conditioner, and I just couldn't deal with the living room. It was too hot, and she was sweet enough to turn the TV off because it's like I don't want anything on. But I am happy to be alive. I am happy to be with you, ladies. And yeah, I'm gonna do a small demonstration today. But we're going to choose a card from the secret deck to give us a good start to the morning with a message that we all need to hear because it's always that way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, somebody, Shirley, tell me when to stop.
No.
All right. Okay. Who you really are.
Oh.
I am whole. I am perfect. I am strong. I am powerful. I am loving. I am harmonious. I am happy.
Ashe.
Ashe. I agree with that. You know, we have our challenges throughout the day, but you know, I like to hang up little reminders. I have notes all around. It's just something that I can grab just to remind me. You know, I even have stuff in the car.
That's good.
Okay, guys. So today I wanted to share. Um, Everybody knows I make jewelry and I make earrings. That's one of the jewelry components that I make, and I make earrings with sayings. Okay, so the pair I have on, it says I want to see what happens if I don't give up, and I get a lot of compliments on those. And this pair says the question isn't who is going to let me, it's who gonna stop me.
All right. All right.
I like that. I like to be a little sassy.
Uh-huh.
So today I wanted to show you how I make my earrings because, um, you know, me being me, I really I want to show you this is what comes with the, like those wooden shapes that I got at Amazon. So this is the ear wire that sometimes comes with your earrings, right? Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, this let me try something black. So, you see that?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That look, whose ear does that fit in? A child's. Okay. I I, I just had I figured out a better way to make ear wires because a lot of people lose their earrings because you take your clothes off, your
Mm-hmm.
ring flies, and it's just this little, you just open up this little jump ring and put the earring on. And that's why it your earrings come apart and you lose them. I have never lost a pair of earrings from my ear. That is because I've only lost a pair of earrings because it was in my pocket or in my purse. That's the only way I lost one of my earrings.
Sharonda says she'll take a pair of the "Don't Give Up" earrings.
Okay. So, the tools that I use are this is like a barrel uh jump ring maker. That's what I use it for. It's like it has two different size barrels. I have wire cutters. I have round nose pliers. I have flat pliers and curved pliers. Okay. So what I usually do is my ear wires are always made out of argentium, which is sterling silver, most of the time, unless I do copper, because most people can wear copper. But in order to save on jewelry, sterling silver, I use, as the first part of my earring making, I use stainless steel, which is very hard. This is very hard, but it's very sturdy. I don't have to worry about it breaking. Okay. So this is how I start out. From where this hole is, I want to make sure that the jump ring I make using this wire is big enough to go in here so that it still swings, easily and it's not tight. So I'm going to use my barrel because the round nose pliers, this size is not big enough. Okay. So what I do is I come down. This is about an inch and a half, and I want
Evelyn,
I want the ring.
Evelyn.
Yes.
If you, because I have you both on both, I have just you and your other screen.
Mm-hmm.
So if you bring it up, because you're real big, so when you're doing something, just bring it up so we can see a little higher. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, now we really can see it. We can
Okay.
see the board, but we can actually see what you're doing. Yeah.
Okay. So I want the jump ring, or for better lack of, to be like as round as the big barrel. And so I'm just going to bend it over. And then I'm going to take this barrel and I'm going to twist it up so that it's like this. And then I'll bring this around so that it meets like that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's what it looks like. And then I'm going to thread the earring through here before I close it up.
Oh, okay.
So that way it swings easily.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like about that. So then I'm going to take my flat nose pliers and I'm going to bend this up to a 90-degree angle. You see how that looks? And this crosses over this way. Mm-hmm. Now, this is where my bent nose pliers come in. With the bent nose pliers, I grasp all the wires together like that. Mm-hmm. And then I use my flat nose pliers. And because this wire is so hard, I have to hold this really tight. I am going to bend this around that straight wire. And because this wire is so hard, you can just do it one time around because it's not going anywhere. And I may squish it down to, kind of make it a little more. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So this little tail here, I'm going to flatten that so that it doesn't poke you. Okay. So that's the way that looks.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now, on this wire, this is where I put my bead. And I have some bead caps. So that's what I'm going to use today. I got these off Amazon. Oh my goodness. Hard to open up the little, okay. And so these look like that. Those are bead caps.
Oh, okay.
This is what.
There you go.
Okay, no, not that way.
Not that way. Go back the other way. Yes. Yeah, right
Okay.
there, right there.
Okay. Those are bead caps.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm going to put one on so it faces up.
Mm-hmm.
And then on this one, I am going to put, it's called, this is an 8mm lapis. And I'm going to make sure that when I card these or put these on a card to sell, I'm going to make sure that that's what I put, what the stone is. So this is a beautiful dark blue lapis. And I'm going to bead it. And then I'm going to take the other cap and I'm going to put it facing down so that it has a nice little frame around the bead. Okay.
Okay.
And then, okay, so we know we want the ear wide. We want the saying to be this horizontal with the ear so people can read it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When you're wearing it, it can read it. So I know that my first little loop up here has to go the opposite direction of that. So I'm going to take my flat nose pliers, butt them up against that bead cap, and I am going to bend this wire 90 degrees away from me. It can be away from you or toward you, it doesn't matter. Then I take the smaller round nose pliers. This is so much fun. So I take and I put it so that it's perpendicular to that wire. Can you see the way I have them?
Yep.
Okay. So then I'm going to take this wire and I'm going to bend it toward me all the way around so that I bend it all the way around those pliers like that. Can you see that? And I'm going to turn the wires so that they're up and it's holding it like that. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. And then I'm going to bend that wire all the way around until it meets like that. Can you see?
Yes.
Okay. Then I'm going to take my bent nose pliers and I'm going to grab that loop.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to take my flat nose pliers and I'm just going to start to wind it around that little stem down to the bead cap. Really got to do it because I want to wrap it as tight as I can. And this wire is, like I said, very, very strong. And I don't think anyone has a allergy to stainless steel. Ugh, really hold that tight and bend it till it meets that bead cap. Okay, can you see that?
Yep.
See. So I have that little tail on there. So I'm going to take my cutters and I'm going to cut very close, as close as I possibly can. I'm going to hold this with my other hand. I'm going to hold this with my other hand because you don't want this flying in your eye.
Yeah.
When you cut off. Okay. So clip it off, set that aside. And then I'm going to take my flat nose pliers and make sure that little tail is tucked in. So again, it doesn't stab you. Yeah, I think I got it. Why don't I have on my glasses, y'all? I don't know. But anyway, I can see enough. So there, you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then that's ready. And if you want to make these longer and put more beads on it, you can. But I just usually put one bead because you don't want them hanging too low. So now I take my argentium. And that's just, it's it's still sterling silver. It just doesn't tarnish as fast as sterling silver. It stays shiny a little longer. So I usually buy it by the foot from Rio Grande, and then I cut them into the eye pins. I don't, if you've done any jewelry, you know some eye pins have the little flat tip on the end or a loop on the end, but these are just straight. So again, so this time the loop doesn't have to be as big right now. So I'm going to take my flat nose pliers. I'm going to put it up to, that's about an inch. That's a little over an inch, maybe an inch and a fourth. And I'm going to bend it 90 degrees with the flat nose pliers. And then I'm going to take the smaller round nose pliers and I'm going to put it right up there in that crease up there, right up there where it bends. And then I'm going to no, it goes, I'm sorry, on this end here. Because this is the wire that's going to go in your ear, this longer part. So I'm going to take this 90 degree, and I'm going to bend it up and around, because I just need a little loop. Okay, and then I'm going to turn the pliers like this, and then take that little stem all the way so it crosses over. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, before I close it, I'm going to take my earring and I'm going to put it in there. And then that. Okay. All right. Then I take my bent nose pliers and I'm going to hold on to that loop right there. Okay. And I'm going to do as I did before. I'm going to wrap this smaller end of this sterling, of this silver around this stem. And this is a little easier to bend. But I usually get, okay, so you can get sterling silver or copper. You can get it in soft. You can get it in half hard. You can get it in hard. I get my argentium in hard because I'm not going to work hard in it anymore. It's not going to be overworked, because the more you work the metals, the harder they get. Okay. So I'm just gonna, and I usually wrap this around until it's all gone. And I tuck that tip down in there. Sometimes I have to switch the pliers around. I just want to, I keep wondering, I am going to contact, because there are people that make these tools. And there needs to be a tool that all I have to do is just take it like this, and it bends closes the wire around this wire. You know what I'm saying? So that it's easier for me to get that little tail up there. So now, okay, can you see that?
Put it up Put it up towards you. Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is what I do to make the wire that goes in your ear. I'm looking at it and I know I have to bend the wire perpendicular to this or what. So it's going to go in my ear this way. Oh, wait. It's going to go in my ear so that it's this way.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So that when it hangs like this and it goes in your ear. So then I'm going to take, and I'm going to take the smaller bail, if you can see. And I position it, if you can see where I can position it, so it's right near where I wrapped it. I'm just going to turn a little bit. I'm just going to twist it a little bit. So it makes a little curve like that. Okay. And then I'm going to keep this there. I'm going to put this up here. I'm going to put this above the curve, if you can see it. And then I'm going to take this longer piece here and I'm going to wrap it around that bigger barrel all the way around as far as it'll go.
Wow. Yeah.
There goes your ear wire. It's not going to come loose. You know, the little jump ring is not going to open. It's going to stay there.
Yeah.
Okay. So what you do next is I make my own sandpaper sticks, and to make sure that this is as smooth as I can get it, I usually leave it this long. I use and just sand it so that it's not gonna jab you too much when you put it in your ear.
Wow. You're gonna learn something today.
So that is the way I make my ear wires. And when I do the classes, I'm going to show you how to do this so that you don't lose your earrings. And I purchase the little, they look like little washers. I don't know whether you can really tell. It's just a little plastic tubing, I think, and it's got a hole down the middle. And that's what you put when you put your earrings on. You put this on. Sometimes you got to feel around. And I got the biggest ones I could get, which doesn't say much. I wish they were bigger. They do have different other styles, but this is the one I like the best because it's tighter and it stays on there better. Okay.
Yay.
So that's the way I make my earrings, y'all.
Okay.
Yes.
Evelyn, how do you get the disc that you're starting with?
How do I get what?
The disc that you're starting with? The earring itself.
Oh, okay. Well, let me see. So it starts out. I don't even have my thing here. That is a really good question, Shirley. Really good question. Okay. Let's see. May have it open. See, I need all my tables to be on wheels so that I can move them out my way.
Hey, Lolly, Grand Rising, you had a guest come on for your guest tomorrow. He came on today. He's a comedian.
Oh,
You already had me laughing right at the beginning.
oh, wow.
And
That's
then
funny.
Mama Evelyn comes on and she says, "You have a guest, Queen?" I said, okay, let me see what's going on here."
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was early. That's okay. Just as long as it shows up tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah. So he was saying he was
Hey.
multitasking, and I said, well, you can take this one off your list,
Right.
or you can stay, either way.
Okay, so Shirley, it starts out. This is a product called Craft Text. It is a combination of paper. They call it like a paper leather, and it's very, very sturdy. And because I used to make my earrings out of, if you heard of Shrinky Dink, shrink plastic, okay, they have that where you can run it through the inkjet printer. But that plastic got dirty with, with the oil from your skin, and it was hard to clean it. So I said, oh, there's got to be a better way. So I found this. It comes in white. I paint them because I like bright colors. I paint them with acrylic paints.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now, I make them into 8.5 by 11 sheets so they can run through the inkjet printer. I run the sheets through the inkjet printer. Then I take, this is a EK Success hole punch. And I center it over the wording. Just imagine if the wording is here, and then I punch it out. And then I have other kind of hole punches. I have another hole punch. I have this one, this is Memory Keepers. It has 2 different sizes of hole punch. I punch the hole in the top. And there you go. I have 2-inch, I have 2 1/4 inch, and I usually don't make them any bigger than 2 1/4 inch round.
Is that the size you have on your ears?
The size I have on my ear, yeah,
Or is it 2-inch?
2-inch. Yeah, 2-inch.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I do. Now, I'm pretty sure there is an easier way to do this, even because what I'm looking for now is I'm looking for a better way to, I'm looking into other printers to print it, because on an inkjet printer, unless you got a certain type of printer and you have to wait so long for it to dry, it'll smudge. Yeah. And, I can wait a day and then go out and spray it, and spray it with a protectant, but I don't want to do all that. But so I'm looking for, I'm pretty sure that a laser printer the ink will dry instantly, and that will make it much easier.
Really? Because I thought lasers, when you print, that smudges.
No, it's the inkjet that smudges.
Really?
Yeah, it's the ink. Okay, so what I have learned.
Well, maybe it's that I would have the wrong paper. There's inkjet paper and there's laser paper.
Oh.
And if you do, yeah, because that is my issue when so I usually get just inkjet, or sometimes it'll say both, that you can use it for both. But if you use a laser, if you use
use laser in the inkjet printer,
it's going to smudge. It's going to do that.
Okay.
So if you don't, you have to have paper that's going to use both things.
Okay. Well, the paper I have is just for the inkjet printer. I did go to my girlfriend's house because she has different kind of printers, and I did put this through. I think she has a sublimation printer. The ink dried instantly, and it didn't smudge. But these, I have to go through a lot because once I paint them, the paper gets kind of, and so I have to iron it so flat, and then I put it between, how you do a book press or a paper press?
Yeah.
If you're making a book. So I made my own. And I put the craft text in there, and then I put it between these two hard covers, and I smash it down as much as I can. I put these clips on and leave them there. And so I think they're flat enough where they can go through a laser printer. Because sometimes you go to the print places and they're a little skeptical, but this is not really much thicker than a cardstock. It's just a little thicker than cardstock, and I don't see the problem. I really don't. But they're all, I don't know. It's like,
well, yeah, because if it did mess up, that messes up a lot of money for them because they have to replace all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I went to Staples when I made sweet potato sensations earrings, and it went through fine.
Yeah.
It went through fine. Yeah, so right now I'm looking for another way to print them so that I don't have to go through the extra. And then maybe I'm thinking Cricut. What is it? Is it a Cricut or what? I know a Cricut could probably cut out the circles like all at once, like or a laser printer,
Cricut. That's a good one. Cricut.
Yeah. Okay.
Grand Rising, Lakeisha.
Grand Rising.
I'm sorry I didn't make it yesterday, Lakeisha. RJ, okay. He woke up, I'm dizzy, I see stars.
Okay.
He just wants to keep y'all exciting.
His mother, she gets like, you gotta go to work and just taking the urgent care. I said, you know what? I'm not doing urgent care and I'm not doing the hospital anymore. We're going to take him to his doctor and you can do a walk-in. And so I took him to Fraser because it's Epic clinic out there. And I took him out there and we got there early enough. And she said, how much water are you drinking? How much sleep are you? How much screen time? And we keep telling him that all makes a difference. And he doesn't listen to us, but he gonna listen to her. All right. So yeah. So that's what happened yesterday. That was my morning.
I have a question for Miss Mitchell and Sharonda. Miss Mitchell, my mother wants to start watching your dance, your teaching on Facebook Live. But I didn't know she has to be your friend in order to see it. And Sharonda, my mother wants to come to your class. And she don't know what day. I don't know what day y'all cut.
In response, she does not have to be my friend. She just go onto my Facebook site, and it's just under my name, Shirley Mitchell. But if she'd like to come on and be my friend, I'd love to have her.
Okay. Look, I enjoy your class. I was like, okay, I learned a couple of hustles. They was easy. And I went to my girlfriend thing. I said, oh, that's what Miss Mitchell taught. I have to see her live. She go at 10 o'clock right after.
And they are all recorded. You can watch them any time of day.
Oh, you can? I thought lives only stay on for a certain amount of time.
They're recorded and they stay on for 30 days.
Okay.
Nice.
Hey.
And you Monday through Friday, Miss Mitchell?
Right.
Miss Shirley. Okay.
Yeah.
At 10 o'clock every day.
Right. Except today. I'm off today.
I'm off today. Okay.
So I don't have to leave early.
Okay. And Sharonda, what days are your class?
It's going to be Tuesday. It's only once a month, the second Tuesday.
Why only once a month?
Because I'm out here trying to make some money. And then also the people, they got to show up. The owner wants me to have a class more often. She feels like, oh, well, if you have it more, the people will come. Well, I need them to show up for the one class a month. And if people can start being consistent.
That's not it, girl. You have to be consistent.
Thank you, Lakeisha.
You the one that has to be consistent. You have to show up.
Mm-hmm.
Every day. I don't care if don't know, but like you did the last time, nobody was there, but you still taught hustle. Like you still did it. Regardless, Miss Mitchell, regardless to anybody gonna pop up on her life, she's showing up every day at 10. People know for sure that she gonna be there at 10 o'clock every day.
Mhm.
You got to show up every day for everybody else to show up every day. If you ain't showing up every day, how you expect them to show up every day?
And then
That's
Every
why.
time you have a class.
once a month, people they don't remember that.
Yeah, not once a month.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, I can get them a reminder if they want to go.
No, that's not the right
Uh,
attitude.
Girl, look, here we're
Sorry.
talking, you saying everything I'm thinking, Lakeisha. Yes, yes.
You know how many pastors, how many times Mr. Cartwright, and they say before they started, they had to show up anyway, regardless to if nobody
Yeah.
was in the room but an ant. They had
Yeah.
still did what they were supposed to do, and you
Right.
have to be consistent.
Right. And then actually that's a good point to what you saying and to Miss Mitchell, because the 2 classes back when nobody came, Queen and Dooney, that's when I put the video up there. I'm trying to figure it out. That's when I got the video with 1,000 views in 2 days.
Okay, so
So
you have to show up and show them what you got, regardless. Miss Mitchell, are you concerned about how many people gonna watch? What makes you keep going, Miss Mitchell?
I just decided, and I'm just like you say, trying to be consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it benefits you, right, Shirley? And
Yes.
so say I'm gonna exercise, and I'll put it on so everybody else can see
Right.
it. That's the same with Nawili. At a certain time, she's,
He's there.
and then I can get it afterwards. Now
Right.
I know up to 30 days, but she does it all the time. So if I didn't get yesterday, I got today or something like that. But it has to be, Sharonda, it has to be for your benefit. If that's not, that's why they say your passion, because it has to benefit you, and it has to not be the, so you can make money. It has to be,
Yeah.
because
That
when the
part.
money is not coming,
That part.
what is your why? What is your why? The why makes you show up either way because it's going to benefit you.
Hmm.
So if I don't get that one day that you're going to do out of 30 days, one day, and that happens to be the day that I go to Lakeisha's church, you know, so
and that's what it is. I can't be at that church trying to learn or these other meetings like the one that I posted. I can't be doing all that and trying to have this class. So, I mean, I'm passionate about all of it. But for right now, that's where I am. But what time is now Wheatley's class?
she does, well, she does,
It's pretty early in the morning,
early
isn't
in the
she?
morning, but she does for seniors or something at 2 o'clock on a certain day, at 2 days a week or something like that. But I'm just saying, but she does it because that she loves doing that. The yoga, she gets it. You could see if she's sitting here and nothing's going on, she's gonna do some. She's gonna get on your floor and she's gonna start doing that. She also loves doing hustle, but on top of that, um, I've offered my space, and Fame has opened the space up. You can find a day a week, and it doesn't have to be at night. It could be in the afternoon, it could be early, and then every week. And then that's when somebody can help spread the word. Oh yeah, I go there every week at noon on Wednesdays. I'm there. She's there every day, every Wednesday. And then other people can schedule around that. But it has to be, if it's once a month, that's 30 days, 31 days. So something to think about. Something to think about.
Because I'm finna start being on Shirley's after our 10 o'clock. I'm gonna start being on Miss Shirley's live. I be watching it. I comment on it. I be like, okay, okay. And they easy hustles, but I know she consistent. Like now I know it's at 10 o'clock every day.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that at first, but now I know she's there and I sit there and watch and be like, okay, okay, I think I got that. But now I'm about to get up and really move. I learned to hustle. and simple, and
Yeah.
and easy. So you just have to get your calendar out, Miss Sharonda Taunt, and figure out what is the things that's most important to you. What is your routine that's going to get you closer to your goal? What are you doing? What are your goals? And
Yeah.
what are you going to do to reach your goals? Like, what is it? You're going to have to sit down and figure that out. You can't be all over the place. You're going to have to say no to some things because you're on a mission. You can't go to every hustle class. You can't go to everything that is done. I had to, some of my, it's sacrifice. I love hustling. I loved it, but I had to make a sacrifice. What do I love more? Me trying to work on my personal development, me really make a difference in people's lives, or am I just, I'm not saying don't do cold turkey, but you got to have balance. But you got to figure out what's most important. You're going to have to
But
be able to
believe
say
it or
no
not,
to some
I
of those
have
things.
cut back a lot. I have.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, for you, you are proof in the pudding with your book, and I did actually get the magazine. Thank you.
You did?
So yes.
Okay.
So I mean, please know that what everybody is saying, and y'all not about to make me cry on here. What y'all are saying is not falling on deaf ears. So you may not see it and it may not look like whatever you want it to look like, but I'm here and I am heating. So
Baby
I
steps.
just
That's right.
appreciate y'all being Keisha a good fire and y'all being some good iron sharpening. And I mean, I'm just looking forward to all of us elevating and thriving and doing more and being more alive in 25.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
Sharonda,
More alive.
Sharonda, it's not about what we want it to look like. So don't put that in your mind. It's not what we want. Based on what you're saying, we're just giving you some ideas, some things to consider in
Mm-hmm.
order to make that happen. It was the same thing when I was telling Evelyn, that about, sending her information out and waiting on them to respond. No, you're the one that wants it.
Yeah.
So you have to do, and if she's only, it was the same thing. I'll do it once a month or whatever, and then there's no consistency, and you're not building up people that are going to help you to spread the word. If they only come once a month, that's, it's not spreading the word. If that's what you want
And
to do. So just consider that in when you're, as you're putting it together, um, you know, and then two or three people come and you say, hey, you know what? Okay, I'll bring my sister, I'll bring my cousin. But if it's a once a month thing and it's only an hour, right? You do it for an
we do
hour,
2 hours and we
two
can go
hours.
how
Okay,
long we
yeah,
want to go. But
yeah,
one girl that was on here that I don't think we've actually had her on the show. She said, texting and emailing or whatever, all that stuff is good, but some people we gotta actually call. So
yeah, you gotta
that's
do all
something
of that.
that I haven't done. So maybe try to work on that part.
Yeah, reminders. I saw Lolly's show on Instagram. Girl, you did a fabulous job. You look so beautiful. Oh my God.
Yeah,
She
she
just
sure
all
did.
exotic and stuff
Yeah,
in
it
her
was
purple.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
beautiful.
but it does take that. So yeah, it's not, it's about how we can um yeah, the structure, but the more people that you have and the more often that you do something, then you're building you're building your team, you're building your audience, and then they will help you do the work because they themselves, anything I go to, and if I go again, then it's like, okay, I must like this. I'm getting something out of it, and then I can share with other people.
Yeah, because I see people commenting on Miss Mitchell's live. I
Hmm.
see people commenting on her, on her live,
Hmm. 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 Yeah, that's all.
Miss Mitchell, what made you continue to do that? You've been hustling, been instructor for a long time. What made you, stop having classes and then just doing them at your home?
You know what? I don't know. I think probably started, with COVID when we all had to go to a Zoom.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think that's what kind of really gave me the idea. And then
Mm-hmm.
after COVID, I do it because it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you
It's
enjoy
fun.
it.
I just go into my back room, do my class, and then I'm like Sharonda says, so I do go to a lot of other classes. But the online seemed to work uh, without having to be concerned whether people showed up or not.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Classes you go to?
Having to have a facility, it just made it a lot easier for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. What classes do you go to? You still going to hustle classes now?
I go to hustle classes, almost all of them.
You just love hustle.
Yes, I
Really?
do. I
So
do.
my mother is trying to find some hustle places to go. She want to learn that boots in the thing. She want to pop up. She want to pop up fan.
Almost almost every class teaches that because it is so popular. Yeah. But it depends on what side of town your mom's on, how far she wants to drive, because there's classes everywhere.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's just a matter of what fits for you. Yeah.
Well, I heard Sir Charles teaches class on at Northwest Activity on Friday, but I don't
Yes.
know any other classes. My mother wanted to support um Sharonda, and I don't know. You got just a couple you could share.
Classes?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's classes. Miss T teaches about 4 or 5 classes a day. She teaches at um, Northwest Activity Center. And all of the community centers, all of the Detroit community centers have an instructor. They have a class, different
Mm-hmm.
times of day, but there's always an afternoon class at I can't think of any community center that doesn't have a class.
Yeah, and she's at Northwest Activity Center, and I think hers is in the evening, right?
She has evening and she has day at Adam Butzel Community Center on Saturday.
And that Butzels.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
A
Oh,
Saturday.
Bustle's right near me.
Yeah.
What is it? What do they usually charge? Like $5, $10?
Depending on where they are, most of the if they're a direct center, they can charge maybe 5, but other classes be anywhere between 5 and 10.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
5, 7, 10.
Mm-hmm.
There are a few that do 15. I don't generally
Yeah, yeah.
I don't generally go to them. There are a few
Right.
because depending on the location where they are,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
And then the other thing is when you're doing something where it's a lot of people, or there's a group of people that come, one, they are mouthpieces for you. And then other thing is it's a networking time that you find out what
Yes.
other people do. And like I have a whole building. I'm in a loft. There are over 200 lofts in there. So it's like if I'm in a loft and they got hustle down there at noon during my lunchtime, I can just go down there and join in.
Right.
But if they don't know about it, and even if you're in a place where other businesses are, and when they take their lunch, so consider that the timing and when people are available
Right.
and things that kind of make sense, and just make it work for you.
Right.
Mm-hmm. St. Patrick is a place too, Miss Evelyn, that you might be able to consider to do some art or show your craft or whatever at St. Pat Senior Facility. St. Patrick.
Where is that?
Um,
On Parsons, between
yes.
on Parsons between Cass and Woodward.
Oh,
It's
okay.
the lady who teach
Oh yeah,
hustle there also
Oh yeah.
upstairs.
There's
She
there's
pretty good.
there's a
yeah.
hustle class there on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
They do a lot of things over there. I went there with Danielle for the belly
Oh, yeah,
dance.
that's where we were. Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting
right,
too.
right, Mama. Yeah, yeah.
Interesting too. St. Pat just got us a grant for teaching some business classes, entrepreneur classes. They
Mm-hmm.
will be on Saturday morning for like 8 weeks, where they help people come up with their business plan, et
Mm-hmm.
cetera, and walk you through. And that's going to be there on Saturdays.
Oh, I need to see what they got going on.
Yeah, because
You know what time?
It's going to be Saturdays 10 to 12, and you can register for the class because
nice.
they have not started yet. They start this month sometime.
Yeah, because that's one of the people that when I was there, I talked to the activity or the director about that I had a 1 hour show. And so I just sent her the email around that. So yeah, those senior citizen places be on, they be on jam. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I'm 72. I'm very active. I'm very, very, very active, so um whatever we're doing, we just have to
Keep doing.
think about getting other people to be our mouthpiece and be our evidence of of how good we are, and they have to be able to have either a phone number or something or a time or a flyer. Matter of fact, during the senior when I'm singing now, I have on one side I made a whole bunch of them that I pass out and how they can connect with me. Not for if you want to book me for a gig, it's going to be more than what I do for the senior citizen places. But they're like, yeah, I got this coming up and I got my family reunion and stuff. But on the flip side, I I put about our show because those seniors, those are the people that are, that come on our show. And so now I can promote both things at the same time. Our show, once you come on, da da da, and it's in writing, and then they can pass it out or, that type of thing. So just think about, yeah, just consider that. It's 10 o'clock, Evelyn.
Oh, this has been a good show.
Yes. And
I
I
feel
was
the
able to
earrings.
record it.
Yes.
Thank you, Lakeisha. Nicole has been beautiful.
Evelyn,
Yeah.
thank you
RJ is
so much.
very excited about it. When I told him that she helped, you said she helped your son with the gaming.
Yeah, did you get her information from
Yeah,
Queen?
Queen sent it to me today, and when RJ come home, I'll give it to him. So yeah, he's very excited. He's very excited about working and stuff. So okay,
Wow.
the finished product.
Really nice,
Wow.
Evelyn. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, y'all. Well, I want everyone to have a great day. Let's hug ourselves. Thank y'all all for coming, Lavi.
Thank you. That was
I
great
see
information.
Deidre popped in.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Shirley, I appreciate it. Let me
Yeah.
jump on yours next time you're on it. I'll look for it on Facebook. Let's give ourselves a hug. And let's hug the world real tight, real tight. Let them know we love them. Let them know we love them. And sprinkle the goodness and love and passion and peace that we want to see in the world. Let us be that.
Ashe.
Be that.
Ashe.
Ashe. Ashe. Have a great day, y'all.
Okay, tomorrow we have a guest, Lolly. Throw that in there.
Oh yes, tomorrow we have a guest. His name is Antoine Crowder, but his artist name is Official A. Dot. But he's gonna be speaking on the Antoine Crowder side of it. Speaking about his fatherhood events that he puts on and all of that. So I'm excited. Please join us tomorrow.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Peace out.
Peace.
Bye-bye.